we say it's roughly the first chapter intermission, and then intermission. We're not really in the second chapter of intermission. Then we're right into the third. Then we're right into the right here. So the first chapter is just the events after Funjuro gains permission to go back into their time. Everyone's in the palace, which is something that doesn't happen at all. This chapter is really just supposed to be a feel good chapter, just for fun, nothing serious. Actually, the funniest part in this chapter was where everybody was fighting for Yukino. And then we have Liz looking all cute, she was trying to get some food. But then no people can see her as the fairy tale member, so she's just swooping over everybody trying to get food. And then while that's happening, everybody's saying, "Hey Yukino, we want you in our deal." And I was just thinking, what the hell? How did Yukino become so popular all of a sudden? And so this whole dilemma really started when Sting mentioned that Minerva and the former master was they went into hiding. And so now Sting says that he wants to try and create a deal where their members can actually cherish their Nakama and have a stronger bond with each other. Because previously in the deal we saw no positive interaction between any of the members in the guild besides Sting and Lily. Those only two had positive reactions to each other. And further back, when Sting was fighting the master and he put a hole in him, Minerva says that put Sting at the top of the list for becoming the new master. And so at that point, I was thinking Sting's going to become the master of Sabretooth at one time or another. That pretty much just debunked everyone else's theories of Sting and Rogue going over the fairy tale, because that would have been shit. So yeah, Sting just says that he's going to rebuild the guild himself. I'm pretty sure along with Rogue and Rufus and Warrior. And he just says that we're going to recreate this guild the proper way, and I want you to come back to the guild. And then before Yukino can even answer, Kagura, she just comes in, hold the fuck up, bitches. We're taking Yukino. She is gonna be with Mermaid Hill. And Kagura has a point because when her and Yukino fought, they made a deal that one's life would belong to the other. So technically Yukino belongs to Kagura, making that the most justifiable reason. And then all of a sudden Fairy Tail steps in. We're like, hey, she's coming with us because we like her. And then we have Blue Pegasus coming along. Hey, look, we only have one good-looking woman, and that's Jenny, so just come with us. And now Quattro Cerebus and Lamy Scale coming in. I mean, come on, Quattro Cerebus is nothing but a meat sausage guild. They need some. They need a woman. They need a woman, basically. And so after that, everybody was wondering where Natsu was because nobody could see Natsu. Nobody had seen Natsu at all. And so Natsu actually shows up at the end of this chapter, and he was able to he was hold on, when it was introducing the king, Natsu just came up and he'd be like, yo, everybody be at ease. I'm your new king now. Now everybody's just flabbergasted. They're like, wait, what the hell is going on? And it seems that Natsu snuck into the king's wardrobe and actually was wearing all of his clothes. So that was great. And that pretty much just ends the chapter. The first chapter. Alright guys, the second chapter pretty much revolves around Jalal, Melody, Altair, Lahar, and Dorenbo. And the aftermath, Jalal and Melody are walking around, they're searching for Altair. because they say it's not like her to just run off somewhere and not say anything. And it's also weird because basically Altair died, so they should have found her body. So my guess was that either somebody moved her body or she's still alive and she's just walking around somewhere. They meet Dorenbolt, and he describes how he wiped the Magic Council's memories. And in that we go to a scene with Lahar and the Magic Council. And I believe the head of the Magic Council, I can't remember her name, I can't remember his name, but he says, "Lahar, thank you for your work on observing the Grand Magic Games." And Lahar just says, no problem, it's nothing. And then he said that, "I heard that there was an illusion of a dragon at the closing party." And Lahar just says, "Oh no, I heard it from Dorenbolt. After the games, I went to my hotel to go sleep." And so we go to the next panel, and Dorenbolt, he says how he pretty much wiped Lahar's memories and the Magic Councils. And his main reasoning for that is because the eclipse is actually magic from the Book of Zeref. And if word got out that the magic, if the royal family was using black magic like that, that the royal system would pretty much be destroyed. The Kingdom of Fury would be in an uprising almost. And so next, Dorenbolt leaves, and he just says, "Hey man, you owe me one," or whatever. And he goes to Cobra. Cobra actually turned himself in, which was surprising because I was expecting for him to, like, leave. I wasn't expecting for him to get captured. And so he's just saying, "Oh man, I absorbed a lot of voices too." And he said that he even heard Cubelios. And so he said, not said, but this panel, it says, "In order to save all of the 6 mages." So I'm automatically thinking Oration 6. And Dorenbolt. Dorenbolt, he says, "Hey, what did you hear?" And Cobra's just acting so busy, like, who knows, And then he just says, "Hey, the door of Hades is going to open. So don't you dare even try to wipe my memories until that happens." The door of Hades. I have no idea. When I hear that, I automatically think of Grimoire Heart. But they were mostly wiped out. So I doubt it. And they automatically say Tartaros. And if none of y'all remember who Tartaros is, it's a guild that was in the Baron of Alliance with the Oration 6 and Grimoire Heart. Two of those guilds have already been wiped out. So all that leaves is Tartaros. So now they're saying that maybe Tartaros is going to make their move. So who knows? That might be the next arc, them fighting Tartaros. And so he leaves. Jalal and Melody still looking for Altair when an old woman comes up and she gives them a letter from a certain lady. At which point we know is Altair. And so they read the note, and Altair says that during the battle my magic failed, which is a big lie, but I think she's just trying to sugarcoat it in order for Jalal and Melody not to feel bad. And I'm gonna read most of the letter. She says, "Because of that, my life is hanging by a thread, but I want to say goodbye no matter what happens. This is the end of my journey. I have to go ahead in the middle of it all, but don't forget the spirit of Creme Sorcière. That is to not forget your sins, that is to not have your sins crushed, that is to believe in the day that your sins will be forgiven." And so on and so forth, her letter goes. And in the last part of the letter, it says, "Live my share of life and fight." And Melody is fucking crying. I mean, Altair was like a mother to her. So, in which case, we go to Team Natsu, and they're in the wagon. And Gray sees this old lady. And that moment, his face is just in shock. And for those of you who read it and don't know by now, the old lady is Ultir. It seems that the magic didn't really, well, the spell that she cast, it didn't kill her immediately. It drained all of her time, but, you know, it didn't kill her. So right now she's just an old lady, and her life is literally hanging by a thread. So it seems that this magic saps the time out of you, not all at once, but progressively, until there is nothing left. And so when Gray looks out and he sees her, he automatically figures out that this is Ultir. And he's crying because he now realized that it was because of Ultir that he is still alive. You know, he put 1 and 1 together and he got 2. And basically Jalal and Melody, they figured it out also. They knew that she did something in order for them to win. And so this part, this chapter was beautiful in Ultir's part, really, because she has now come at peace with herself. She's now forgiven herself, and she now doesn't believe that her life is worth nothing. She actually feels as if she has done something important, and she did. And she feels like her sins are actually washing away. And she says that she was happy for the first time that she was born. And at that moment, she just says, hold on, let me see. She just says, "Goodbye, my beloved people." And we can pretty much suggest that she's dead. And that's pretty much the ending of the chapter. Right there. Yo, this last chapter was fucking awesome and epic. To start off, the beginning is pretty much Fairy Tail's triumphant return home. You know, back to Magnolia. And they're throwing a festival for them. Like, this is tremendous. And so, pretty much the big reveal is that Fairy Tail gets their old guild. Their old guild back. And it's restored. It looks brand new, and it looks awesome as hell. So along with the prize money, they get their old guild back free of charge. I mean, you can't get no better than that. So mainly, I'm just gonna get to the part that I liked, because this is the most important part of these 3 chapters. If you guys don't remember, that little, I don't even know what to call it. I'm just gonna call it a munchkin. This thing. Yeah, this thing that was with one of the members of Raventail, he actually has a connection to Zeref. And Zeref was watching the Grand Match games the entire time. The entire time is crazy because nobody expected that. I mean, I wasn't expecting that shit in the least. I thought that, I didn't know what to think. It's crazy. So, the little munchkin comes back to Zeref, and he's just chilling there. And Mavis appears. And so, I'm pretty sure Mavis knew that he was watching the Grand Magic Games at some point. And so, Zeref, he just says, "I can't really see you, but I know you're here, Mavis." And then right now they start having a full-blown conversation, and Mavis asks if Zeref is ready to die. And at this point, he says that yes. Well, he doesn't say yes. He says he's made a decision. And he goes into a little monologue, and he says, "The fighting, hatred, and evil people he has watched era after era after era after era. And it's evil. It's evil. And he's just hoping that the same era won't be making the same mistakes as the previous, but time and time again he gets proven wrong. And so he says if the world is going to keep rejecting him, then he's just going to deny this world. And that it is a gift from him, the world's harmony and its regeneration. And Mavis, she's looking scared and she says, will there be fighting? And he replies with no. It's going to be a one-sided annihilation. No one will be left alive. And this is crazy because Zeref isn't the type of, well, he isn't the type of person anymore to fight and kill people, unless, which was stated before, that he forgets the meaning of life. If he forgets the meaning of life, then he will start killing again, which was when he killed Master Hades and Zancro. Once he says that, we get an epic panel of him and Mavis, and they're just doing a standoff with each other, which is pretty awesome. And then in the end, he says Natsu, because you know he says that Natsu was meant to destroy him, but that Natsu wasn't strong enough yet, and that he was going to wait. So obviously he isn't waiting anymore. I mean, it looks like the final arc is going to be coming pretty soon. Not soon, but pretty soon. Probably within like 2 years time, maybe. Matter of fact, 3 years tops. 3 years tops it'll be coming. And I can't wait to see what finally happens. I mean, we have Tartaros. We have Zeref Acnologia. Shit is about to go down, literally. I mean, these 3 chapters were pretty good, but this chapter was the most important and the best, in my opinion. So, with that, the next 3 chapters are going to be called The Morning of a New Adventure, Words, I believe it says Shiken, I don't know what that means, and Treasure Hunter. So those don't really sound like important chapters, more just like a comic relief chapters, or you know, like just old fairy tale stuff where they go on missions and fight monsters and stuff. So with that, that pretty much concludes my review. I'll see you guys next week.